Right, so simultaneous equations using elimination. So when you see a simultaneous equation question, you can use either method, unless the question says to use a specific method. Does that make sense? Does this question say to use a particular method? No. No. So you look at the question and go, what's going to be the easiest method? I'm going to use elimination because it's going to be the fastest method. Okay? So it's very similar steps to the, what's the other method? Substitution method. So we're labeling our equations, but I'm not isolating. I minus one equation from another equation, or add them together, is one of the variables going to be eliminated? Which one? The y. So I can use the elimination method. So I simply go 1 plus 2. Okay? So I'm going to add 1 and 2. So we just add all the variables together. Because they've lined them up for us, it's nice and easy. If they're not lined up, what would you do? Just rearrange it before you label it. Okay? So that could be just like a preliminary step. Rearrange. So 3x plus 2x. Negative y plus y. 12 plus 13. Does it make sense? Yep, see how it's a lot easier than substitution? But it only works in certain situations. Okay, so now 5x equals 25, x equals 5. Yeah? All the other steps now are exactly the same as the substitution. Number 2, 2 times 5, y equals 3. Check. I'll check with number 1. 3 times 5 minus 3 equals 12. 15 minus 3. Left-hand side equals right-hand side. Therefore, the solution is 5, 3. Yes, you have to put that. I don't mind if you also write it like the solution is x equals 5, y equals 3. That's also fine.
Like subtracting one from the other?
Yep, so second step is adding. Okay? 2 equations. If I add them together, will I eliminate a variable? If I minus them, will they eliminate a variable? No, so I can't do that. If I multiply one of them by something, so multiply 1 by, say, 2, and then add them together, will I eliminate a variable?
Yes.
So sometimes, when we do elimination, we have to multiply one of the equations by something. Yep. So if you're going to, yeah, it's not on freeze. Because it's an equal sign, right? It's like a balance. So if I'm going to multiply something by 2, I have to multiply everything in the equation by 2. Otherwise, the equal is not going to be balanced. It's not going to be equal. Does that make sense? So the new equation 1, what is that? 4x plus 8y equals 4. So I've multiplied everything by 2. So there's a few different ways you can communicate this. You can do the multiplication, and that becomes your number 1, right? So first step, multiply number equations. Then you either add or subtract. So if both of these was 8y, what would you do? Instead of adding them, you would subtract them from each other. Does that make sense? So the reason I added them together was because the y's were opposite signs. Does that make sense? So this y is positive, this y is negative. That's why I added them together here.
So if they were to be both positive or both negative, you take them away?
Yeah. So if they're both positive y's or both negative y's, you take one away from the other one. Did everyone get x equals negative 3? Yes. So then you sub in the negative 3 to find the y. So you guys know the rest of it. So you write the solution and you check. You guys happy with that? Bit of a different method.